the summer of 2018, the Chief Justice organized a conference up in South Sioux City. The purpose of that conference was to start some difficult discussions, and some really important issues were raised. There was a sense at the end that there was a lot of work that needed to be carried forward, and so the Chief Justice asked the Access to Justice Commission to establish a consortium. It is comprised of judges from all of Nebraska's tribal courts, from Nebraska's state courts, and from the federal courts. We wanted to obviously identify the disparities that exist in the court systems from the perspective of our court users, so we knew what work needed to be done, and we knew that all of us had blind spots, and we didn't know what those blind spots were, and we were going to rely on the Native American community members, their leaders, and their community members to tell us what we needed to hear, what we needed to know, what we needed to understand about what those issues were.
This is, in my experience, the first of its kind, where courts and judges have ventured into tribal communities with the goal of listening as the first step to making things better, to making things more just, more fair. I'm impressed that Nebraska was willing to take this first step, and I truly hope other states will follow Nebraska's example. I think you have engendered some hope, so we need to take that hope that was generated and demonstrate that something is actually happening.
You know, we're just starting the process, and we're just starting the point of coming up with what our priorities are. And we thought it was really important before we made those decisions in terms of what our priorities were to go out and listen to the people who are being affected by these court systems in terms of what they see as their priorities. So it really helped to remind yourself that there's a human face to the parties that are in front of you, the litigants who are in court. You know, we're here as a service to the community in terms of being able to resolve disputes in a peaceful manner. And the more that we can look towards coming at court in that mindset, I think the better we do for everybody. We're actually looking for ways to make substantive differences in people's lives that encounter our different court systems. And we're listening to you to find what our priorities should be and to find a way to put those priorities into place.
I also think to hear stories about the inequalities of how families are treated across the state. You know, once they get in the system, it's hard for them to get out. We heard a lot of ICWA compliance issues, so that always just sticks out in my mind. But then also hearing some of the other issues of inequality in the courtroom. It's really important to do these public engagement sessions and to hear the voice of the Native American community. I know that in some instances, some of the community members were reluctant to share and to speak up. And so I think these public engagement sessions are important so that we can hopefully catch those things that we're missing.
I grew up in Gordon, Nebraska, near the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. I'm a member of that tribe. I've had family members involved in the court system, been an attorney working in the court system for several years, and now I'm a judge. I really thought I knew and had an understanding of the issues that impacted Native American communities in the legal system. But after going to these listening sessions, I found out that I really didn't. There are problems which we heard about from the participants that I really had no idea existed, and some that I knew existed, but not to the depth to which they do exist. So it was really eye-opening for me, and that was probably the most surprising thing to me. As I listened to some of these stories, they hit home deeply, and I saw hope and change for situations that seemed so dire, but I was thankful that the participants were willing to be open and honest and really share their life experiences, because that's one of the best ways to have change occur. I just want to say that I'm thankful for the opportunity to help serve on the state, tribal, and federal consortium, and I'm thankful to the National Center for State Courts for the funding that they gave to make these sessions possible. The information that we heard from those sessions, I believe, will give Nebraska a real opportunity to effectuate some positive change within all three of the judicial systems here in Nebraska that's so important and so desperately needs to occur.